Hello Stampers, welcome to another Rubber Redneck video tutorial. I'm going to be demonstrating how to make this fun little party favor box using the stamp set called the Open C. This is the front of the box, and then when you turn it to the side, here's what the side looks. Now this box, once you have it complete, you can use a cellophane bag to put goodies in and then slide the cellophane bag down inside, or you can use it for the little mini bags of the chips for lunches. You can also fit that down inside as well. And then once you have your box completed, you can also use this for a centerpiece on your table for decorating if you would like. So to create the outside part, I'm going to show you how to do that first. And you want to cut one piece of River Rock cardstock at 4 inches by 11 inches. Then you will score it at 4.5 and at 6.5. Now, you will only stamp on one side. Take the stamp from the Open C, ink it in River Rock, and stamp around the edges. Then sponge the edges with River Rock. Once you have that done, then you want to fold over on your scored lines so you have the beginning of a book, we'll say. And then the side that has been stamped on will be the front of the little box once it is complete. So to finish decorating the little box, you want to then cut one piece of not quite navy cardstock, and you want to cut that at 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. I took the stamp from the Open C, inked it in not quite navy, and stamped it several times until I had the piece entirely covered. I took the cutter kit and and distressed the edges here. I then cut one piece of early espresso cardstock at 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. I ran it through the Big Shot with the Perfect Details texture plate. I then took some multi-purpose Tombow glue and I just added a little onto the early espresso cardstock here. And then you're going to attach that right to the not quite navy cardstock in the center. Then you want to cut one piece of well-worn designer series paper at 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. And I used the pattern with the little blocks on it. Then you're just going to apply some more mono adhesive glue onto the back of the designer paper. And it just takes a little of that adhesive. And then I placed that down here going across the bottom of the not quite navy cardstock, just a little bit up on the early espresso. Then you want to cut one piece of 1 1/4 Cajun Craze grosgrain striped ribbon and then cut it in half. So you want to cut this piece of ribbon at 5 1/4 inches long and then cut it in half. Once you have it cut, then what you want to do is fray off the edges. So just grab the ribbon on the bottom here and then just pull it off. So then you have this little frayed looking edge. Once you have that done, then cut a strip of sticky strip and place that going across up here on the top of that designer series paper. Then what I did was I took my scissors and I folded the ribbon over, and I wanted it to have a little notch, so I folded that ribbon over in half and then I cut it at an angle to create a little notch on the end. Then you're going to peel off the backing on the sticky strip and attach your ribbon to the sticky strip. And you want to place it so the edge of the ribbon covers the edge of the designer paper. Then you're going to make a little ruffled effect, so fold your ribbon over and then press down. And then fold it over again and press down again. And then once you have your first two little ruffles here, then go ahead and just run the rest of the ribbon across and then press down. Now, you'll notice that it's not super straight on the edge over here. I did that on purpose. I wanted it kind of to look a little more weathered and worn. Then once you have the ribbon on there, then you will cut one piece of River Rock cardstock at 2.5 by 2 3/4. Take the stamp from the Open Sea, ink it in Early Espresso, and stamp it in the center. I then sponge the edges with River Rock ink, and then at the top I set one of our little vintage trinkets. And then you want to take a couple of stamping dimensionals and place one at the top and the bottom and attach that to the front of the Early Espresso cardstock. And you're just going to overlap the ribbon and the designer paper a little bit and put it towards the top in the center, like here. And then I took the stamp from Teeny Tiny Wishes, inked it in Not Quite Navy, and stamped it onto a little piece of River Rock cardstock. I then cut it down so it's a little smaller if you need to, and then I applied some more of that Tombow glue on the back here. And then you just slide that in under your Early Espresso cardstock to create your little tab. And I did that towards the top. And now you're ready to put that onto the front cover of the little wrapper here part. And to put that on there, I used stamping dimensionals again. I placed one at the top and one at the bottom. And then I just attached that to the cover here. And you want to do it on the side that is stamped. Now you want to decorate this little holder before you put it together first. And then I took the stamp from the Open Sea, inked it in Not Quite Navy, and I stamped it onto a piece of River Rock cardstock, and then I cut the little anchor out. And then I took and cut a little piece of stamping dimensional and attached that to the back of the anchor, and then I placed that down here on the bottom on the left-hand side just to add a little more to the decoration. Then to finish putting this together, you want to cut 2 pieces of River Rock cardstock, and you want to cut them at 2 inches by 4 inches. Then you're going to score each piece at 1 inch and then at 3 inch. Once you have them scored, fold them over and take the stamp from the Open Sea, ink it in River Rock and stamp it on the center. Sponge the edges with River Rock, and then apply some sticky strip in the little sections on the ends here. Then you're going to flip over this piece here, and what you want to do is you want to put the first scored line down here on your bottom of your grid, and then you're just going to measure up about 1.5 inches on the side, and you're going to attach the little holder part, the little sides, and then just line up your edges and press down, and you'll do the same thing on the other side. You just want to go about 1.5 inches, line up your edges, and then attach. So then once you have that part done, what you want to do then is pull off the backing off of one tab at a time here and fold up your side, and then just attach it to the back cover. And then do the same thing on the other side. Just attach it to the back of the little holder. And then that completes your little holder for the Open Sea stamp set. Thank you for watching.